Hi guys and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So this is the first time I've actually sat down and spoke to the camera since doing the Disney quiz. So if you're new to my channel from doing the Disney quiz, welcome, and I hope you guys are enjoying the Disney quiz. I've absolutely loved talking to you guys through it and doing it every week, and this week coming will be week 4 of the Disney quiz, which is a month, which is crazy. So yeah, I've really been enjoying it and I hope you guys are all well and keeping safe. So you guys obviously here because you want to know about my upcoming Disney trip, and I would usually do a trip announcement video, and I haven't really done those in the last few years, and I didn't actually announce the trip over on YouTube. I announced it over on Instagram. It's been in my Instagram bio for a really long time, which I'm gonna have to change now, but anyways let me get into the details. I have in my notebook, which is my quiz notebook, which I write all my stuff in, wrote a little few pointers that I wanted to just touch on quickly with this, and it shouldn't be a very long video. It's just going to give you the lowdown on what we've done with our trip and yeah, hopefully what's going to happen. So instead of going on May the 8th, which will be in 4 days time, we actually rebooked and changed to go in September this year. So we did actually go in September last year and we are going in September this year. And ideally we didn't want to do that because I didn't tell you guys on YouTube, and I'm not really sure if I've announced it over on Instagram, but we were originally going in May and then also in December. So it gave you a really good time to spread out your trips and get the content for each trip and all that sort of stuff. So it really gave you enough time to also save up money. So now we have changed it to September. We rebooked for September and we are still hopefully going in December. So it's quite close together, and considering we went last season in September, I kind of wanted to do a different season this year, but that is the way it's going to go in 2020. So to rebook, we booked with British Airways. They offer you either a refund or a voucher, and a lot of people think that to get the voucher they have to just sit and wait for the voucher to come. It doesn't work like that. So if it's happening with you, you actually ring up, you get a voucher code, and then you rebook like that, and then you either get your money back or they refund you, or you have to pay more. So we actually did have to pay more to go in September. So originally we thought, well, why don't we go in June or July? This was at the beginning of coronavirus, by the way, but they were super expensive, and we originally booked May because we got such a good deal. I think the flights were $450, if not less, per person, which is such a good deal because sometimes they can go up to £700 or £800 in busy season. So June, July, August was super expensive, so we didn't book those. And then obviously we wanted it to be spread out from December, so we booked September and we had to pay £137 more. So we did essentially have to pay more, and considering it's not our fault, it's kind of annoying that you have to pay more, but I guess that's the way it's going to go with this situation. So we rebooked for September. In my notes here, I won't say the exact date we're going, but it's just before my birthday, so I will have another birthday in September in Disney World. I'll have another birthday in Disney World in September, which is fine. Ideally I didn't want to have another birthday in Walt Disney World this year because I wanted to have it there next year and spread it out because I already did it last year, but that is the way the cookie crumbles, and I'll be having another birthday in Walt Disney World, which I can't complain. And so other things that we also had to change was the parking, because we fly from Gatwick. We had originally paid a good deal for parking, the same company I used for my Venice trip. However, I didn't get any money back from my parking for my Venice trip, but we did for this one. They gave us credit, so we are going to do that when we know closer to the time that September will be going ahead. So that brings us on from parking to tickets. So with the tickets, we actually chose to go with American attraction tickets this year. I'm not working with them in any way, we buy all of our tickets. This is a completely trip paid for by ourselves. So we only actually paid the deposit anyway because it was due just as lockdown started, I think, or just before lockdown started, and they were saying, you know, don't have to pay now, let's just wait and see what happens. And then we actually ended up changing them, and we had to pay £25 to do that. So we actually had to pay out £25 for the tickets, then £137 each for the flight. So it's essentially costing us more, and we can't actually go when we want to go, which is frustrating, but that is the way it is. So that is the deal with that. And I put on my Instagram story the other day a tweet that I had tweeted saying we don't know if it's still going to go ahead in September, and a lot of you messaged me saying that you'd booked it for September. So many people have said on certain posts on Instagram and stuff that you've also booked for September too, and a lot of people messaged me that day and they were like, why, what's happened, what have you heard? And it's just a personal thing with that one, because for example, if we don't go back to work until at least July. That only gives a couple of months to earn money, and that's if I even go back to work in those times. Considering what I do as a job, as I'm self-employed in many different industries, 2 of those industries are quite prominently in crowds and hospitality and lots of different people from lots of different places, which realistically won't be happening that soon after the coronavirus. So yeah, that's the deal with that, because realistically I want to be able to earn a decent amount of money before going back to Walt Disney World. Also, I just realised how long these sleeves are. They're so long. And this is this top, by the way, in case you're like, what is that? So yeah, so I realistically want to be able to earn a decent amount before going to Walt Disney World to like be able to afford it, be able to afford merch, and be able to like comfortably pay bills and things, and important things, as well as being able to go on the holiday without feeling like I shouldn't be going because I haven't gone back to work too soon or whatever it is. So yeah, realistically that's the deal there. And obviously a lot of people keep asking me like what I feel about it. Will it be okay in September? And the reality is like no one really knows, and we have spoken about it as a family, like if they are going to make us do social distancing and are we going to have to wear masks. Realistically, would we want to go when it is like that? I am not sure, because that's not Disney how we know it. And will it be a waste of our money, because it's a lot of money you pay to go there, and if you can't, for example, go in the parks if it's only 75% capacity, are you going to have to get there super early? And we never tend to do that anyway, and it's just going to be very different from the usual Disney that we know. Someone also asked me on Instagram, would I wear a mask in the park? If they're saying that you have to wear one, then obviously I will wear one. But if we're going all that way and they're also saying like you can't go sunbathe by the pool, and you can't touch this, you can't touch that, and being in Florida in the heat of summer, especially September, it's such a warm and humid time, and it's so busy, and being in Disney World, you are around other people, you are quite close to other people. If it's gonna be anywhere, or if you're gonna get it anywhere, I would assume that being in Disney and being in a crowd and being that close to people, it's probably not the best place to be during a pandemic. And if they're not going to do happily ever after and things like that, you're not going to get the full experience. So we will assess as time goes on the situation with Disney, whether it will be open to the UK public. We do not know if that, we don't know if that's going to happen. It may just be open to residents, and we will see what happens. Hopefully we get to go, but I also don't want to feel unsafe, because you also have to fly there for 9 hours on a plane, and planes aren't the most hygienic of places anyway, let alone during and after this. And even now, if someone gets close to me in a shop, I'm constantly like, oh my god, get away from me, and constantly having to do my hand, and if I touch something I feel like it's contaminated. I don't want to be worrying about things like that in Disney. So it may be a case of it needs a year to calm down, and we will then go again hopefully in December, because we're only going for a week in December, we're going for 2 weeks in September. So we hopefully would go for a week in December, because Christmas is so good. And then if not, we will go in May next year, or maybe we'll go in September next year. So that is the deal with Walt Disney World. I would love to go back in September. Fingers crossed it happens, and obviously I will keep you guys updated on here and over on Instagram. I do a lot of the talking over my Instagram lives and stuff about this, and I know a lot of you guys are also in the same position. So that is just currently what's happening with our trip. We have rearranged it, and we arranged it very early on during the pandemic. I don't know whether we would have done that considering what's happening now, but it's just a case of playing it by ear. So that is what we're going to do. We're going to see what happens, and hopefully we get some Disney magic, because I wish we were going this Friday so bad. I'm so sad we get to miss Flower and Garden, but everyone's going to miss Flower and Garden now. And if we do not get to go, hopefully we get to go in December, because I need some Disney magic this year. And hearing that the Disneyland Paris park is probably not going to open until September means that there's no option of even going there in the summer either. So yes, that is the update for the Walt Disney World trip. I will have to take the bio out of May 2020 Florida, and hopefully we'll get there in September. If you have any questions, or if you want to ask how we did certain things with changing the flights and whatnot, if you just if you've changed yours and you want to talk about it, then pop a comment down below and I will give you as much help and advice as I can, and hopefully we will all get there in September or at some point this year. But the main thing is that we stay healthy and we are safe. I also completely forgot to say, so I'm going to insert this in somewhere in here. So I completely forgot to say, with the accommodation for Walt Disney World in September, because I also get asked this a lot on Instagram, we always stay in our family's timeshare. We own a timeshare there. My mum and dad bought it over 20 years ago now. That's where we always stay. I never actually tell anyone like where it is, just because of like personal privacy reasons. Like, it's my parents' place, and obviously like there's some things that you want to keep like personal and private to you, so that is one of those things, and I hope you understand. And yeah, that is where we'll be staying in September. We don't have to change anything there. I don't know if we have to pay more money just to move the weeks around, but it should be fine. But that is where we stay. It is lovely, and you will see it on Instagrams and vlogs. I just don't like actually advertise where it is, just because it's our own personal place that we own. So yeah, that is the details about that. That is the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed hearing about what we've done and what we're going to do, and hopefully we'll get the content. It's not as bad as our Venice vlog that we had to lose all of our money to. So yes, thank you for joining. Please give a thumbs up if this was useful, if this was informative to you, and if you enjoyed the video. And if you're new, please subscribe, and I will see you again in a new video, guys. Thank you for watching. Bye!